Forget the rest. You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.
Hey, what's up? This is Rhythma de Trois. We are with the Fourth Letter Radio on SDMLive.com. All over the world soon, in your hearts. Straight from 7 Mile to right outside of 7 Mile, 8 Mile, Southfield.
That's right.
You know, we represent all of, I guess that's like baby Detroit now a little bit. We have a great show for y'all. We're coming every week. We're going to explain why we're here, what our purpose is, and why we need to be in the media. You know, mood and engagement is really important, and how you feel about yourself is really important. And so when you're getting knocked down every day in the media, all right, when you're getting knocked down in the media, you don't know how to fight back, because media is the most powerful tool they got out there. So I decided a long time ago that I wasn't going to complain and I wasn't going to fight back. What I was going to do is become the voice. So I'm going to stay on the front line. I'm going to keep current, and if I need to say something, I'll already be there.
There we go. I like that.
And that's what the fourth letter is all about. And you know, there's some other meanings behind it. We'll talk about it. I'm sure you could probably figure out. My researcher over here, this new doctor, this is a scientist of panelists. This is a panelist of scientists. See, we have dyslexia, right, Doctor? I've been displaying my dyslexia since we started the show, and I didn't know I had dyslexia because I'm a songwriter, you know, and a poet. And when I put those words together, people are like, oh, that's so poetic. And I'm like, yeah, it is. But then actually, when I'm talking and writing regularly, I sound like I have a problem because I put the wrong words together. So, but we're positioning ourselves to be that voice, to champion where we need to champion. Like I said, we will already be on the front line. So this has become a panel of scientists, of deep thinkers. I call them the brainiacs with a twist. Right? So we're going to stay on the front line. Make sure that those topics, we might call it uncomfortable conversations. I like that. Uncomfortable conversations. And that can be about religion. People like to go with the whole relationship, but actually a lot of our problems aren't relationship. Our problems, our issues, the things that are irritating and antagonizing us every day happen to be, you know that feeling when a family member, not necessarily a romantic person, but a family member doesn't want to call you back. You know, or you got people that you are supposed to be close to, and it's just not happening. And you're like, hey, that's not how that was supposed to work. Mm-hmm. We were supposed to make up by now. You know, I can't have a good time. But then what happens is through the way people are positioned in your life, maybe that's the chessboard, right? To get you where you're supposed to go. All positive talk. All positive talk, right, Dr. Taji? Everybody is a doctor at this table. I have the distinguished Taji Ali Darul, who has been championing the digital divide in urban Detroit, Metro Detroit, in the area, and becoming on the front line. We want to welcome him. Hello. That's how Brainiac's talking about. Hello, I'm here. But with a force, people who speak and are profound. His lovely wife, Didi Darul. Hi. So I have asked them to keep coming back because the feedback that I've been getting, where people have been listening to our show and they really like how you all have been, all of the things that you've been saying on the show, and they really like to have that type of perspective. So they love it, that they know. And these are people that are talking to me from other parts of the country, like Atlanta. And I'm like, did you watch the show? And they're like, oh, I like that couple. I like having that fresh. You know what people say about us in Detroit? They're like, we didn't know y'all had people like that. Have you ever heard that
What
before?
does that mean?
They said that in Atlanta.
No, that wasn't in Atlanta.
They said that in Detroit.
They said that in Detroit, like in other parts of Detroit. Like they don't. And then other parts. People really do not know the rhythm that's in Detroit. Like, you know, I meet people and I'm like, there's a whole bunch of people that think just like me over in Detroit. Where are they? So I'm going to start bringing them to the table. We are working on a mixer by Zoom, of course, and where we can meet together each month to encourage each other. That's right. So we're working on that. Now, I often look through social media, and what I'm looking for are young and old and middle-aged and everybody, actually, children, everybody. But what I'm looking for is I want to unearth what's going on so I can stay current, and I need to know who has put themselves on the front line, who has decided to go beyond the average every day. And we have connected before.
That's right. Dajanaba.
Dajanaba
Ali.
Dajanaba Ali.
Yes.
Back in the day, and I have found that I've been reconnecting with a lot of really good people because I love good people. I love to keep them around me. It's like nutrients for the soul. And so I noticed that you had a really great achievement. I'd love for you to explain it to me a little bit more than what I read. And also, I haven't heard about it yet. So this is going to be our first time.
Right. Did you want me to get into it now? Or
Yes.
Okay. So, recently, a couple of things. Recently, I graduated from an 18-week co-op academy. It's a business co-op academy.
Okay.
Training. And as a result, 8 of us, 8 Black women, we formed a co-op, and we're opening up a garden center on the north end. Yes.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yes. So, we've partnered with Oakland Avenue Urban Farms, and we're leasing some space over there. But we'll actually be doing things like hand tools eventually, and adding stuff to our inventory, selling soil, super soil,
Nice.
grow mediums, soil amendments. Like we'll be doing a handcrafted, like your company, Compost Tea. When I say Compost Tea, some people think it's like something edible to drink, but it's just fertilizer for the plants and everything. We'll be doing like hanging baskets, flowers, and so for Mother's Day weekend, that'll be our soft grand opening, and May 8th. And you'll see the flyer shortly. I submitted one of those photos, but that is May 8th. And you'll hear more about it.
Please.
Yeah, you can the flyer, the save the date one. Yeah. But we'll be we're just gearing up for that, like week after week, like it's coming up, it's fast approaching. And we came together like a group of strangers per se, and within, a little less than 5 months, we're like, we're going to do this.
Now, I had a vision of a project called Backyard Gardens. I started it of the million projects that I have. But wouldn't that be nice, Dee Dee, to just step outside and you have a garden that's been growing with your own food? So the idea started, but maybe I can partner with an organization like yours.
For sure.
And what we would do is we need training. So what the program does is it trains people to grow and cultivate their own food in their backyard. But we send a technician out to first build the garden. I see a smile. You all doing
because
something?
that's something that we were currently working on. So we had a greenhouse. That's a long story, but we have garden beds now. So the goal is to get that going soon.
Right.
This is fabulous.
No, that would be a great resource because one of the things that we'll be doing is doing monthly education classes. And that'll be for the novice to the more experienced person, whether it's dealing with house plants or, some gardening things. But during our, what you might have saw is it was 3 co-ops, 3 groups that came out of the graduation. And the other 2 was a beauty supply and a cafe, a fresh food cafe. And so they did a little business pitch competition, just a little friendly competition. We all won a nice little seed money, some starter money. And it was based on donations, like us just putting a flyer out there, hey, you can log in and buy a $5 ticket. But, of course, people purchase more. And so we were the winner of the bigger pot. And it was like $1,800, and then it was growing because donations were still coming in.
Now, is this a opportunity that other people can?
Yeah, actually, it was all put on by Detroit Wealth Fund. Yeah, Detroit Community. I knew. I'm missing a word. There we go. Community, the main word. Detroit Community Wealth Fund, and
so others can.
Yeah, they're starting
Detroit Community Wealth Fund.
Yes, they're on all social media platforms. They will be doing a fall academy. Good. And they're like open. Like if you actually, I was gonna and this is like hot off the press, y'all hearing it first. Besides in my head, but I actually was gonna approach them.
World premiere.
Right, boom, boom, boom. But I actually was going to approach them about maybe doing something, because I have an 18-year-old daughter, so, like, doing something for young adults, maybe not so much teens and youth, because it could be some, legalities involved that, maybe they can't do a younger set, but at least, like, maybe 18 to 23, because especially now with the pandemic, like, she was in college doing a semester at Oakland University, and I just was like, come on back home. Like, it was in the dorm just doing virtual classes anyway, but we sent her still just to get that whole college experience, get it out of her system or whatever. But it's just like now looking for a job or looking, it's like, let's just create our own little stream of income. It's no pressure. You at home, so. But that's why I intend on doing. But yeah, they're doing a fall co-op. So so it'll be dope for people to hit them up and get involved.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for doing that work.
Oh yeah.
Many of us want to do things like that. We want to have the time, have the commitment, and we're just happy that somebody is doing it. Keep the gardens coming. At one point, Detroit was had the highest urban gardens in the country.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're deep in that. It's nice. What we're also doing is getting into and jumping into cryptocurrency. So you're going to open it up for us. Tell us a little bit about what's going on, what's hot. Okay. And we're going to buy some coins.
Yes, we are, right? Live on the air.
Right on the air.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
So cryptocurrency is a digital asset. You can purchase these as easy as downloading the app. Robinhood, Coinbase, even through Cash App now you have the option of buying. I see Bitcoin and there's other stocks available. A few weeks ago, it was news about the AMC stock, and that boosted. Today, however, was a big frenzy about Dogecoin, which is a coin you could purchase on a Robinhood and probably other platforms too. But it basically doubled in value. Now, these cryptocurrencies, you can purchase portions of them. You don't need to purchase a whole one, but there are cryptocurrencies like, let's say, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is about $60K right now, $60,000. You don't need $60,000 to purchase a Bitcoin. However, you can purchase, let's say you want $5 worth. There's a decimal point, whatever the equivalent of that to the 60K amount, you'll have that portion in. these are constantly growing the more people get into the market. There's a coin now, Dogecoin. It's about 0.4. So it's like 4 cent or something like that. 0.4.
It's like 37 cents now.
30. It's wait a minute.
Yes.
3.7.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. It's almost $1, but see, before a few weeks ago, it was 0.000 point something like that. So people who put as low as $10 in there have doubled their money, tripled their money, and there's people who, in the Black World Order organization, which I'm learning from, they've made $100,000. You know, depending on what you invest and what you put in, but there's a multitude of cryptocurrencies out there. They don't necessarily, all of them don't necessarily have value. Like Dogecoin isn't really, doesn't really have any substantial value. It doesn't take that much of complex mining to create a Dogecoin as it does a Bitcoin or Ethereum, which is a coin that's going to blow up and be in the news pretty soon too, like July. But I advise Americans, especially Black people, to get used to and get familiar with cryptocurrency and digital currencies, because that is where the world is going. Our dollar is losing value. Our dollar is crashing. Our dollar is failing. And I believe it's on purpose or whatever, but that's what's happening. Our money is going digital now. In China, they're ahead a little bit. And I say ahead because America is going to take this approach as well. They have programmable cryptocurrency or programmable money. So let's say the government puts out a stimulus check at $2,000. They can program the money to where if you don't spend it within 3 months, it disappears.
That's trash.
Yeah. So it's a very dangerous time and very dangerous thing that we're moving forward, because the goal is a one world currency. But because the dollar is losing value and the dollar is crashing, now is a good opportunity to put some of those dollars into these cryptocurrencies. Use YouTube. Use YouTube. Sign up for Black World Order at bwoacademy.com. We'll get you right. But now is a good opportunity to familiarize yourself with it, because if you're slow to it, if you're just watching it thinking it's a trend while the dollar is steadily losing value, all the money that you have in the bank, it's just losing value. Right. 3% is what we lose 3%. The money loses value 3% every year. Investment accounts and savings accounts is like 3%. So it's like zero. Our money is not backed by gold or anything like that. You can purchase a crypto like Dogecoin, and the money is constant. The market is constantly moving 24 hours a day. And you can make profits, and you can even pull those profits out. Let's say, you put in 100, the market moves up, it goes to 50 cents or whatever, and you make $15 or $20 off of that $100. You can take the whole 120, you could take any portion of it, So it's an asset, like I said, it's constantly moving.
I have questions.
Yes.
So, Bernie Madoff just passed away. He had been the engineer of the biggest Ponzi scheme in the history of, I want to say, the stock market. He was at like 81, and they did find him, and then they locked him up and stuff. But how do we know that the crypto coin era is not going to be like that Y2K era, or it's not going to be an era where it will crash? Everyone believed in certain things that would happen. So does anyone get any type of anxiety about that, about investing in this new crypto? Is it becoming more, is it here to stay?
Well,
Taji?
I just want to say before
Is
you
it
speak,
here to stay?
there's Bitcoin ATMs in stores and gas stations.
Every gas station, there is a Bitcoin dispenser.
Yeah.
Or ATM.
Well, that's something else.
Without getting into a whole discussion and getting real technical, that's how you know, like straight to the point. Because before we went on air, I was saying I've been wanting to invest in Bitcoin. It was just a matter of me. I wanted to bump into somebody reputable, because I've been getting, it's like all the hair weave advertisements that you get, like the spam. It's like I get, like it be somebody
trauma. That's hair
like,
trauma,
it be
baby.
with,
It's gonna be all right.
It used to. As a matter of fact, I don't see those anymore. But they used to pop up like crazy. 2018, 2019, Instagram be hitting you with these fake accounts and stuff, and so that's what Bitcoin. It would be these different entities or people coming at me, and I'm like, I click on a few, just to see.
Or it'll be like a lady from like Indonesia. Hi, me be your friend. You buy your Bitcoin.
all of that, and I'm just like, I'm ready,
on
y'all.
my
I'm
inbox
ready
right now.
But in reading it, and this was probably back in like 2017. I read, and one article will take you to another, and you just clicking on different things.
Right.
But it has said back then that certain companies, like just say like a Amazon or like a Home Depot, they were saying merchants are about to add Bitcoin as a checkout option. When you read stuff like that, because companies are not going to invest in things that are not here to stay.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
absolutely true. I mean, so like, it's different than like a regular market too, because it's decentralized. So there's no like one central bank that can like go down or someone can take down. Like it's a mesh kind of network. So it takes everybody's collective effort to keep it. I mean, not effort, but like consciousness almost to keep it really going. Like, so
It's
as
all
long as
relative.
people,
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Those markets that are relative. You buy your home for $68,000. You move into a neighborhood. Everyone is brown. The value goes down. You move back out. You move downtown. They move where you moved. Houses doubled again. Then they move back to Detroit. You go to Detroit, the houses go down. So it's all relative. Like those are the types of trends that I'm mostly concerned about. Are the life trends. To when you're making decisions as to where you're going to invest and what you're going to do.
Absolutely. You just said the key word too, decentralized, and that's what I kept running into that term when I've been researching lately. It's like, because that's what initially that's what you want to read all the stuff like to debunk a lot of different things. Like you want to be like, what? Let me find it. Aha. But I'm hoping I want to make sure the aha don't come up. So it's just like, cool. Then you read that like, oh, it's decentralized. It's banks.
Okay, so for all my students out there.
Yes.
We're saying decentralized is like, it's not a full Chick-fil-A franchise, okay? Is that what we're saying?
We're saying it's not one big boss in a sense. It's
Right.
not. It's not one guy you can come after and the whole thing is shut down.
Wizard of Oz.
It's like basically, it's like the citizens. Basically, it's the citizens' money, the citizens' bank. That's pretty much what it is.
They call it like a democracy money, it's like a democracy. Just
So we have our doula who's going to be calling in about 8:30. And then we have a segment, our panelists. So like I said, we are becoming panelists. We're no longer guests. We're no longer co-hosts.
right.
We're like a new panelist of scientists. But she'll be calling in about 5 or 10 minutes. Let us buy on Cash App. So I want everyone to see how easy this is. If you take your phone out, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 symbols at the bottom. Y'all got some money in there? Everybody, we're going to buy a little bit on Cash App together. We're Bitcoining.
Funny thing is, on Cash App, they have the boost.
Yes.
So where earlier I ordered some food and it gave me like $3 or something worth of Bitcoin.
Really?
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
So just pay attention to the boosts that are available at the bottom.
Okay. And where are the boosts at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that on your Cash App?
Yeah, I used to have Boost, and they like removed it, so I'm glad. But now this is a new.
So when you go to your Cash Card,
Okay.
right under your card,
Add
it'll say Add Boost.
Add Boost.
Yep.
Okay. Under your Cash
Click
App.
on that. But don't add it right now because they expire in 7 days.
Okay, so don't.
But
Oh, I
that's
see
where they
that.
are, yeah.
Add a boost. Thank you. So again, you're gonna go to your Cash App. You hit your second icon at the bottom, which is your card. you're going to go ahead and hit your ad boost, and now you've got dollars that are coming from merchants that you've spent money, and then they give you Bitcoins. Ooh. They're like ching, ching, ching. Little
I see this one right here. The restaurant one says any restaurant earn 10% worth of Bitcoin on one purchase.
This is amazing. I never knew this. This is why you're here.
Any coffee shop earn 15% worth of Bitcoin.
Okay, so I'm going to spend $10 because I have about $10 in here. Well, it's probably going to go into my account too. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is the fourth icon down at the bottom. And then at the top, you can choose stocks or you can choose Bitcoin. So we're going to hit Bitcoin. And some people may not know that this is on your Cash App. Did you? You already know because you've been buying. Did you know it was on your Cash App?
I just saw it today, actually.
Oh, really?
Amazing.
I didn't know that Bitcoin was on Cash App.
Yeah.
I think it's on PayPal, too.
This is great. Okay, so this is your first time. Dajanaba.
She's about to say rhythm day twat, like day twat.
Actually, becoming famous for not remembering anybody's name, and it's fine.
It's what it is too. Is that because that's my birth name, and
it's beautiful.
God bless my dad and my maternal grandmother. They picked the name out of an African name, but in the pronunciation back then, it's pronouncing the D, but it's supposed to technically be silent. So that's going to always throw people off. You know, like how Django was like, the D is silent. Like, it's like that. Like djembe drum and things like that. So, yeah, it's supposed some Africans will say Janaba.
Well, in West Africa, in Olaf, it's Dajanaba. It's actually the very most popular woman's name.
Exactly.
It is, but it's pronounced. So I've been pronouncing it correctly for Senegal, but it's actually my children's auntie's name.
A couple of brothers over the years, like I should say over the decades, literally have said like, "Oh, my sister's name. It's a popular name." I've heard that. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. That's that linguistic conversation we're going to have again.
And it means affectionate, y'all.
Oh, okay. All right, so
put in my cash
buying. This is what it looks like. Y'all see, I done made some money.
Confirm your Bitcoin purchase.
Made some money.
You just put $10 in there?
No.
You made $89?
I was looking at like, what?
Like, so you just sent me $10?
You just put 10 in there?
No, I did not. This is from before.
That's
okay.
This is me.
Okay, I'm getting. Let me see. That's the tens. That's the hundred. That's the thousands.
I'm gonna do it on Robinhood.
What's after the thousands? The 10,000.
I'm gonna buy some Bitcoin.
Okay,
you put any number in there you want.
No, I'm saying the amount. You know how you were saying it was 0, 0, 0. So like I'm trying to read how much Bitcoin I have. Like math, you know the tens place, the ones place.
Right.
I'm like, wait, what place is that again? Right. Yeah. But it's like 0.00079584. That's how much.
It's literally moving up like right
as
now.
we speak. But I'm doing
Bitcoin. I'm looking at Bitcoin right now, right here. That's a good thing about Robinhood because it shows you that's how much it is.
Okay, so guys, listen. This is our guest who's calling in from Jamaica. Let's see if they can hear you, Jennifer.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm doing just great. Now, go ahead and pronounce your name for us, please. Omolewa. And yes. So tell us a little bit about what you do, how you participate in healing, your movement and commitment to empowering women, and then all the great projects that you're doing over there in Jamaica. She is originally from Detroit, so just tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yes, I'm from Mount Clemens, a small town outside of Detroit, but I've done a lot of my training and work overall out of the city of Detroit. I've been a massage therapist for 17 years, as well as the past 7 years, holistic birth worker and psilocybin therapist.
That's what's up.
So tell us what that means, because those are the special mushrooms. So she does healing through the training and education and application of mushrooms and other natural raw materials. And go ahead and finish telling us a little bit about the projects, or really your life's commitment, what you've been committed to over there in Jamaica.
Yeah, just overall assisting families. Even though I'm in Jamaica, I still assist families in the U.S. and other countries around the world. So it's just pretty much, I always say I come along on a person's journey when their life is about to change the most, like the biggest transformation of their life. So usually with massage therapy, it's just an overall healing modality that we need from the time we're born until the day we die.
Yes.
Touch is very important. For me, it's one of the most forms of nonverbal communication that we have. So overall, just providing positive touch and healing and holding sacred space for family.
Absolutely.
From there, so I went into birth work, which with massage I was already working on women who were pregnant or either postpartum. But once I moved into birth work, it really changed my life as far as serving families on their most sacred journey, assisting the fathers, assisting the other children, and in that becoming a source of support for even the grandparents and aunts and uncles. And it was pretty much based off my own birth experiences that were unfavorable. So I began providing information and support to families in my community who were uneducated on childbirth or the processes of the body, breastfeeding and such. So, helping women in shelters and just very powerful work. And from there, I went into the sacred plant medicine, which is a lot like birth, considering people are often meeting themselves for the first time, and just healing, overall healing and spiritual cleansing and release for individuals and families, and assisting them with operating from their authentic and higher self.
Doesn't that sound like a glass of tall glass of water?
Sound like a retreat. I need to book a flight.
We're all trying to book a flight.
Right.
We're check your calendar, okay? But no, she does have a program where you can visit, right? And tell us a little bit about the opportunities for people to come and visit down there. I guess
children.
It's like a bed and breakfast she said, and with her children.
Yeah, with children.
Okay. She's got a program for that too. Go ahead.
Well, so for me, first and foremost, the program is for individuals to come into a certain sense of awareness on their own, because you take you where you go in the world. So even though Jamaica is the most beautiful place on the planet, we have to get our minds right. We have to get our spirits together and begin the awareness of giving up the things that are weighing us down and come into a place of accountability as it relates to our healing and our overall mental health.
And having the courage to talk about it. I know I'm always trying to make something into a party. I'm like, I need knee surgery. I need an ankle surgery. Let's have a party. It's like, it doesn't matter. Have a good time. But that is because of spending time in West Africa, where they're having a ceremony for every single thing, every single day, constantly dancing and drumming and eating together. But then there's no movies there. There's no McDonald's. The fun is going to your neighbor's house, getting dressed up. I remember my first week there, the very first time years ago, and the lady came and she laid out my clothes and they started sewing hair into my head. They was like, you know, we got to fix you up. So I had a big, beautiful hairdo. And so I was getting ready and they were doing my makeup. And so I really thought we were about to go somewhere. Then we went outside and we went next door. The engineer decided he wanted to start working with our sounds. But no, that was amazing to me because it really helped me understand the beauty of how they live as a village, because what they would do is there are 7 days a week. So you have 7 families or 7 large apartment style homes with quarters in them where, you know, multiple people live there. Of course, the servants live there. And so I was going to say something about the servants. You know, I have to go back to the plantation, and I got to tell you something because something just came on my mind. Okay. But, you know, when the Europeans came over there and they saw the people in the house, they thought they were slaves, but they were servants, because it is a way for you to take care of people and to provide and give them an opportunity to live in a big house. And, you know, so they bring them in off the street. And, of course, there's a big caste difference in class because they'll live, like, in the back of the home. But they're so ready to help you because there's such a big class difference there. Wow. So, but anyway, they went over there and they saw that. And, of course, I digress. Are you looking at me so you can help me remember where I'm at?
Because we got to get to the retreat.
Right.
So he's got your job. My friends have to always tell me what I was talking about before I started on my the retreat.
The deets.
To introduce us to ourselves, right? To gain more awareness, right?
Well, what we want to know, Omaluwe.
She laughing at you.
Wait. Dee Dee got it right the first time. That's amazing. Okay, so Omo, we really think that at this point, while you're continuing to explain to us your project and the natural healing, the raw materials, the nutrients that you have over there for us, we would like to have a retreat. And so we want to just kind of get you thinking about that. Maybe we can come. But please share with us. There is a program that you have that's for children as well. Is that your program? But it's also for those who are seeking healing. So can you tell us about that with the mushrooms?
Well, when you're dealing with psychedelic medicine, you're pretty much dealing with mental, emotional, and spiritual health. You know, our bodies kind of store trauma in our subconscious mind and into our muscles and organs of the body. And many of us have different levels of trauma and grief or anxiety or depression or certain fears and such. Just things that we pick up from the media and the air that we breathe and the water that we drink. There's just a lot of overstimulation and a lot of information. So what happens is typically people get into a space where they feel like they're stagnant or their health, you know, their body produces a health condition. But it's pretty much from the trauma. So what happens in the space of the psilocybin is the body is really able to purge itself. And depending on how much of a dose you take, kind of depends on what the body goes through. But there's, for me, one of my personal favorites is the process of spiritual cleansing. So that could be crying, that could be through vomiting, it could be through a bowel movement, dance, laughter, screaming. You know, so many of what happens is a lot of our trapped emotions, like we just can't, for whatever reason, express ourselves or speak from a place of truth, you know, or of power. So the psilocybin mushroom, magic mushrooms, assist us in doing that, shedding the spiritual self.
Is this something that's been around for a long time? What are the years on this? Years? Thousands? Hundreds?
Yeah, tens of thousands of years. They time to bloom and bring forth new life. And it's also the same technology that communicates to the trees, in the state to pull the chlorophyll in. So the leaves begin to change color and fall from the tree. So all this is a divine science and technology that the earth already works on. It doesn't need a book.
Sounds like a much larger human. Sounds like a larger human, right? Because we have a nervous system. So it could be the nervous system or the emotional system of the earth.
Absolutely.
Like that?
All of that. All of that. And the mycelium also deals with decomposition and the breaking down of nature back into fertilizer and energy and such. So once you partake of the mushrooms, you become like constantly downloaded and uploaded with information. Technology, some of the old programs that we run off on are updated or need to be cleansed, just like a computer.
So how many sessions does it take?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so how many sessions does it take? Like if you're doing the spiritual cleansing or you're, like how many sessions would you have to go through in order to get back to?
I can't hear for some reason.
She said, how many sessions would it take for someone to get back to where they should be or for there to be a result? How many sessions?
Well, I can say there's instantly results. You're instantly going to have results. But it really depends on the level of trauma, or the level of programming. Some people have been under a religious program a lot longer, or it's a lot ingrained. Programming from our families, society as a whole. And then you have some people who are here in this lifetime to break family curses and generational trauma. So some people, like Egypt wasn't built in a day, so it becomes a bit of I say like a lifestyle maintenance. Some people do it once a year on their birthday, or they may do it quarterly, or it just depends. Maybe it's a time of year where your mother made her transition. Maybe your mother passed away on Christmas. So every year in the winter, after Thanksgiving, when they begin to play the Christmas carols, you fall into a state of depression, or your partner does, and you don't know why. So it helps with people being accountable for their own healing and being proactive in the spaces where you need to go and sit with yourself and sit with your higher self. Because we're not used to that. Most of us have been programmed that God is
in another
outside
place.
of us.
Yeah.
That he's another race, that he's another nationality, that he's more powerful than us, that he's more greater, that they're superior or more worthy to be praised than we are. So it leaves us as humans in a constant state of lack and really depression and oppression when we are the gods. So that's what the mushrooms come to do when they've been left here. They are our ancestors to remind us of our power and our beauty and our strength and our wisdom. Like we already know that. We really don't need to, not to say we don't need to go and get degrees, but the information already lies within our blood, and it's in the air that we breathe. We just haven't been taught how to access it. Like we have absolutely everything that we need on this planet, and it sustains us very well. Whether you pray for it or get on your knees at night and say thank you for it, it's going to exist with or without that. So it's helping us to tap into the part of ourselves that are self-healing, that can motivate us or cause us to change our reality at any moment. But most of us are too clogged up with religion and old relationships that we should have gotten out of a long time ago, old houses and apartments and cars. But it's just that we don't self-activate. Because for one, I found also, we don't have the self-confidence and the self-worth and the self-value that we really need. Especially as a black people. That's how so much is able to be pulled over on us, because we're still kind of activating out of a childlike state. And that's what a minority is. It's a child who can't think for itself. It has nothing to do with race or color.
So how can we get more information about? I do know that you have workshops that people can sign up and hear and see you. You regularly do these workshops. So can you spell your name on Facebook so that we can find you? We're going to wrap up the show in just a minute, but can you just go ahead and spell your name so we can find you on Facebook and we can sign up and have a more in-person instruction from you?
Yes, I'm online as Sweet Serenity Company. As far as Instagram and my Facebook page, but I also have Omolewa, Omollewa, the entheogenic midwife. I have a page on Facebook. And my website, sweetserenitycompany.weebly.com. And from there, if you want to book a one-on-one consultation and just kind of go over some of your intentions for the medicine, we can discuss any fears or thoughts and just to assist people in preparing for the actual ceremony as well as the integration, which is the most important part, with helping individuals integrate back into this reality following their session.
I got a quick question for her. The mycelium, when she was talking about that, it made me think about the movie Avatar. And then also, I was listening to someone who was like an expert in mushrooms who made his transition last year, I believe. But he was saying before during the interview that doing the psychedelic mushrooms is a way to communicate with the ancestors. I wanted to ask.
I did. She didn't. I feel like on my trips last year.
She might not have heard.
No, I could
she
have.
Can't, she can't hear.
So you talking about
mushroom trips?
My trip to Belle Isle.
I never did it. Besides weed, I haven't. So okay, go ahead.
Yeah. There was a period of time, and they were African. There was a period of time during the trip that I took on my psilocybin, where I was having a conversation with the ancestors. If you want to put it that way, the ancestors. I was having, and they were African, and their accents were African.
Wow.
And so,
well, listen, Omo, we want to thank you for coming on the show and sharing with us how we can find you. We're still just sitting here dreaming about a retreat. So when I schedule my time to come and visit the 2 weeks that I promised, I'll let everyone know if they want to come and hey, hang, come on, hang down in Jamaica with us. But I'll let them know in advance so that we can all maybe meet down there, up there to the side, wherever we are.
See, for me, I don't party. I'm strictly business. You know, and I don't mean strictly business. I just mean as far as people who are on their journeys and need real help. Like people are on their way to committing suicide. The body is shutting down. The mind is shutting down. You know, I'm not saying we don't have a good time, but I'm here to help people with their breakthrough so their soul can get what it needs and that their families and their children can benefit.
And you also have this online right now. You also will take consultation time. Good.
Okay.
Yes. Psilocybin and the Black Family webinar series. I'm doing part 3 this Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's how we are introducing our family into sacred plant medicines, reintroducing rites of passage into our family traditions and creating new cultures for ourselves. And also our children endure a lot of trauma, and sometimes we're in our own space where we're not able to connect with what they're processing. So that's what happens. Children grow up to be big adults that still haven't fully matured. So just ways that we can work more with our children and activating them and connecting with their higher selves and their spiritual power.
Thank you so much. Long.
Thank you.
A friend for many, many years. So I, like I said, I'm reconnecting and connecting with the best of my city. Even though you're in Jamaica, we will be visiting you soon, God willing. So
I will
thank
be
you.
here waiting.
Well, thank you. And so you enjoy the rest of your day. We're going to hang up on you real quick. With love. Okay, thank you. Okay, so that was a hybrid. Because, you know, we have all this beautiful technology in here. I had to do that flip phone, didn't I?
That was cool,
And
though.
get her on the phone from Jamaica. Hey. I want to open up the table to our distinguished panelists. That would be Taji and Dee Dee. They're going to share with us some things that are going on. Are we working on something great? What's going on? We got something?
Would you like to share with us? It's a couple of things. So it's the mixers that we were talking about.
Yes.
So what we're classifying it as right now is the Brainiac mixers until we get a name, right?
Yes.
In order to bring like-minded individuals within the city of Detroit together.
I love it. Thank you.
Taste some tea.
Yes.
Probably actually share book ideas as well. So we want to be able to bring like people that, you know, really are into this stuff.
Y'all want friends like this, though. Let me tell you what she just brought. I love stuff like that.
You got to hold it so you see the bing on the end. At the top.
Yeah, so that actually comes with our tea sampler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the tea sampler, and then I also received the tea spoon that allows you to use, what did you call it? It's the tea
Infuser?
The flakes. What are those called?
Loose tea.
Tea flakes.
Organic loose leaf tea.
Okay.
Yes.
Organic loose leaf tea.
Her car said luxury. Don't leave that word out.
That sounds like a rap at the gas station.
Organic loose luxury.
It is luxury because I have, she gave me, well, actually, I purchased from her 2 beautiful. One is Dreamer, and the other is mint chocolate. But it's really a great product. I'm not even going to, we're not even playing. It's a great product. And the tea is, it's got a really warm, rich, it's warm and rich. You can tell it's not cheap. It's a good product. So this mixer is all about allowing those that you invite to sample the tea and then also mix and mingle. Tell us a little bit about that idea.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people around the city of Detroit that are like brilliant entrepreneurs, right? Very intelligent. And I think a lot of them don't necessarily feel like they have the space to really connect and bounce ideas off of each other or share resources. So we want to create a very nice, comfortable, upscale kind of environment where you can be like, wow, like you said, like I'm somebody in this space. I'm somebody anyway, but us coming together with other,
Wu-Tang.
That's what I'm talking about, being able to come into the space, partake in some luxury teas as well as, share business ideas. Who's reading what this month? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We want to be able to share these things.
Right, and not seem out of place because sometimes you can't have those conversations.
Yeah. Right.
You can. If you talk about Star Trek or
Avatar. That's my show.
Let's talk a little about the racism that's going on real quick. We are advocates. This is a panelist of scientists. So we have to stay on the front line. I want to talk a little bit about racism and how racism works from my perspective. If you know Dr. Abraham Maslow, has anyone ever heard of Dr. Abraham Maslow? You can look him up. Okay, now, Dr. Abraham Maslow, his hierarchy of needs, the model that they use when they build out something as basic as our food groups. Remember when they made our food groups? You know those food groups is killing us. Because most of the stuff on the food group we should not be eating, right?
Not 3 times a day either.
No.
It's a problem. It's a
major problem.
So that same pyramid, what ends up happening is through people's travels as they came here. I don't know how to actually identify who I'm talking about, but they call them Westerners. What
Yeah.
Colonizers.
Westerners, colonizers. All right. So as they're traveling, they see things. They see the pyramids. They see the culture, and then they're mimicking it. They're saying, "Hey, this is great. This is how I want to live. Let me take these minerals, pound them, and make them into a pharmaceutical and sell them for, $500,000 more than what they should be sold for." Now, in these travels, they are bringing this information back. They're looking at the pyramid. They've created these foods. Throw all the foods in there that we sell.
Wow. I didn't even think that
We sell
subconsciously.
potatoes.
Wow.
Are we supposed to be eating potatoes 3 times a day? I don't
No,
think
we're
so.
not supposed to eat
3
3
times
times
a
a
day.
day.
For real.
So-
Potatoes, if you want to survive, if you have to.
Remember that
have
one
to.
movie? There was a movie when that guy. It's a movie out about a guy that went out. I'll figure it out and tell you what the name is. I need another person.
Wait, he went out on what?
He went out of space
I
and
know
he
what you're
started.
talking about.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know-
started-
I remember the name of it.
He
Matt
started.
Damon or something was in that one.
He was gardening potatoes.
I
And
was
he
gonna
lived
say
off
he went
of
to Mars.
potatoes.
He went to
Yeah.
Mars and cultivated some potatoes
Yeah.
there.
There's some underlying ideas about that. It's like, yes, our pyramid of crap does work. No, it doesn't. You cannot go to Mars and eat potatoes. I don't care if you make a movie. Don't do it. Stop
Right.
making us eat
And
potatoes.
especially white potatoes. Like it's
And that's
not-
all it was white potatoes. Everything got to be white, right?
Yeah, it's not good.
Okay.
Starch.
So now these white geniuses decided to just put everything in a pyramid. Everything is a pyramid. It's all about starting at the bottom as you go up. I guess it gets smaller. Everything, all of the models started mimicking this idea of the pyramid. Of course, they found it other places besides where they were. And so our bridge card system, what is that called? Food stamps?
EBT.
Our-
EBT.
EBT. That's like we used to be called colored, and then we were called mulatto, quadroon, Africa. It's food stamps, and then it's EBT. Okay. So our food stamp system is based on Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and basically they decided that you first need, in order to be a human, a full-fledged human who can actualize themselves, get to where they need to go. They need their basic needs met. Then they're going to feel safe and secure. You have to belong to a group. This is like human development. They're explaining human development like you would if you saw Pride of Lions. Then you can have self-esteem. Then you can self-actualize, meaning that you can actually see and go to another level of capacity and say, yes, I want to go to college. Yes, I want to do this. Now, the basic needs is the EBT card. And they decided that if we just give them these basics, that $13,000 level where you're low income and your poverty and all of that, that's Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Then they said safe and secure. So now everything gets real raggedy. Because if where you're living, you don't feel safe and secure, and so you're not going to ever get to self-esteem. Loving belongingness is the part that they don't talk about because we're stuck on basic needs. When I went to Africa, guess what? There are no basic needs. There's no running water. There's no ambulance. You can break your leg. You better just put that back in place. And
Walk it off.
there's no running water. There's no bathrooms on the inside. There's no EBT. There's none of that. But guess what? There's high self-esteem. So what we found out is that they know that doesn't work. It actually flips. It makes you feel less secure, because what they talk about all the time is we need this grant for basic needs. But when I'm in Africa, there are no basic needs. That is not the pathway to self-esteem. What they skipped was love and belongingness. So they know if they constantly make you feel like you're not included, you won't attain self-esteem. But they'll keep giving you bread and water.
Right.
Blue.
Dang.
Maintain the body, kill the mind.
Maintain the body and kill the mind. That's the fourth letter radio, SDM Live. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace, peace.
Thank you.
Make a move, make it matter. Yeah. Forget the rest.
How y'all feeling?
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.